back on the RJ Young Show. My man Patrick Masick is in the booth. And we got Noah on the line. Noah, I come to understand you believe that Spencer Rattler should start over Jalen Hurts in the Peach Bowl. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. I'm going to give you an opportunity to walk this out before you get embarrassed on radio.
First of all, I point to the University of Georgia and your love affair with Jake Fromm, especially after the Notre Dame game. He did not run off Jacob Eason and Justin Fields. It's that Kirby Smart didn't have the nerve to replace someone who is pretty good. He's good. There's no question about it. But he's not Justin Fields, and it was crazy that he wouldn't replace him. That's how Kelly Bryant got replaced by Lawrence, because he's good enough to get you there, but he's not good enough to get you over the top. And that's what Jalen Hurts did. He got him to the finals, but he couldn't get him over the top, but Tua could. Now, have we not learned any lessons from history at all? It's time for us to move on to our future.
That it? That's your point? That's what you got?
That's what I got.
Okay. All right. Appreciate the call, Noah. Appreciate the call. So, to recap, Noah's also calling me out for my love affair with Georgia. I like Jake Fromm, and I like Georgia. I also watched them get beat to hell by LSU. But to your point about Jalen Hurts being the guy to get you there, and then Tua Tagovailoa having to come into the second half of the 2017 national title game against Georgia to get them over the top, I would also add, Tua Tagovailoa has played lots of football and is a better football player than both of them. Look, you want to throw a true freshman who has played all of 2 games, who has never seen the caliber of defense that LSU is about to play in front of a national television audience at the Peach Bowl. You also want to negate that Jalen Hurts has beaten LSU before. They know him, he knows them. He has the wheels, and more than that, you want to bench a captain at the University of Oklahoma. He wasn't a captain at Alabama. That was bestowed upon him here. The entire football team backs Jalen Hurts up, even when you and I don't. And that matters. Why does it matter? Because Mike Stoops was being held up for the same reason by folks is going, hey, but the kids loved him. No, they didn't. They didn't want to play for him. And if you don't want to play for him, you don't believe in him, he shouldn't be calling the defense. Same thing goes with your quarterback. Everybody knows this is Jalen's team, and this is Jalen's year. You also have the added advantage of having a quarterback that you can use like a running back against a defense that is susceptible to the run game. The weak link in the LSU defense is the defensive line. And you want to negate that by sitting Jalen Hurts. You also want to sit down only the third player in the history of the sport did 3,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing in 11 games. Only NFL MVP to be Lamar Jackson, and Johnny Football, Johnny Manziel, has done that. And you'll remember Johnny Football torched this same OU defense in 2012 in the Cotton Bowl. You also want to sit down the only person to ever win a semifinal in the history of the University of Oklahoma. You want to negate the entire reason that Lincoln Riley brought Jalen Hurts to the University of Oklahoma to begin with. So you want to sit there and tell me that you know quarterbacks better than Lincoln Riley does, and more than that, you know the guys in that room better than Lincoln Riley does. You don't want to give the only guy that the rest of the nation wants to see play football an opportunity to play and give you something like negating the home field advantage in Atlanta, because they're going to be Alabama fans that show up just to root that kid on. You want to sit down what many believe, myself included, is one of the class acts in all of college football. The only kid ever grad transfer and not have anybody say nary a word. I have people that show up to my door to tell me, hey, I'm not here for Oklahoma, I'm here for Jalen Hurts, I hope you understand. It's like, yeah, man, Baker Mayfield in Cleveland, I get it. Your guy is your guy. You also want to turn the keys over to Spencer Rattler in the biggest game of any of these players' careers. And you want to risk him losing it and being utterly destroyed and utterly destroying his confidence going into a 2020 season where he's probably going to win the job anyway, and this OU team is loaded for 2020. 2019, they have overachieved. If they lose to LSU, I'm going to be the last person to say that, hey, they should have showed up and won. Because this ain't 2017. That team was built to win the national championship. They're the matchup for Georgia. This ain't even 2018, where the defense is not young and does not have this same feel to it. You want to throw all of that away so that you can do what? So that you can see a true freshman go out there and get his head handed to him? Because if he were to go out there and let's say the best would happen, let's say that you're right for once. Let's just say that. Let's say that Lincoln Riley has a lobotomy and puts Spencer Rattler in the game and they go win the game. You're going to trust Spencer Rattler to go beat Clemson and Ohio State? I'm not. Most sane OU fans aren't. Because the de facto national championship is going to be played in Glendale, Arizona on December 28th. Most people would tell you that team's going to take apart LSU or Oklahoma. And yeah, miracles happen. It's one in Lake Placid in 1980. There were angels in the outfield in that one movie. We had Benny the Jet Rodriguez outrun the beast. But that's as fantastical as you saying that Spencer Rattler is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts right now. Noah, appreciate you calling into the show. If you think you got a better take than Noah, 460-KYAL, hit it up, and I'm going to hit you up. You're going to get the smoke. Patrick, anything you disagree with in here, dog?
No, I mean, maybe there's a knee-jerk on it, and there's a difference between Tua coming in relief in that national championship game to lead them to victory. But yeah, I think that's too knee-jerk. I think, obviously, Hurts gives you the best chance to win. And so, look, we think Rattler's going to be a nice player, don't get me wrong.
I also don't want to ruin it. Because what people would say, right? All right, they made a change. They started Jalen Hurts. They made a change at halftime, RJ. They made a change.
Yeah.
I would also say, right, they made a change to a guy who had played 8 games that year. He wasn't going to redshirt. Okay? That guy played a lot of football. And they made a change to where they could throw the ball down the field. I don't see Lincoln Riley, who is a quarterback's coach, who is an offensive play caller at heart, taking the keys out of his starter's hand. He doesn't do it. Nick Saban's a CEO head coach. He'll look at Brian Daboll and say, make the change. And he did. Lincoln Riley's going to ride with his guy. It also speaks to what Oklahoma football is and what Alabama football is. Oklahoma football is recruited by family. It recruits by tradition. It recruits by loyalty. They are loyal to you. They expect you to be loyal to them. At Alabama, he recruits the best athletes he possibly can. They're mercenaries for 3 years. They leave. He recruits the best coaches that he can to be assistants. They're mercenaries for a couple of years. They leave. Alabama is an assembly line. Oklahoma is a family. You show up here to play here. We take care of you. We ride with you. And when it is your turn, they've shown. They reward you. How many times have we been? I would much rather see Bray Walker at left tackle over R.J. Proctor or at right tackle over Eric Swinton before I want to see Jalen Hurts not take the ball at the snap and finish this game. Finish what you start. Give the young man an opportunity to do it. Now, we can make the argument that they weren't going to win the national championship with Jalen Hurts finished in the second half, but we wouldn't know, would we? Would we? Because guess what else needed to happen last year? Tua Tagovailoa goes down with an ankle injury. Who saved their season? Jalen Hurts in the SEC championship with his legs. Rattler can move, but he ain't Jalen Hurts. He ain't 6'2", 225, and built like a brick outhouse. Because I can't see the other thing on terrestrial radio. Not that I would, because I understand that there's lots of folks that are, loyal to their faith and don't want to hear that kind of thing. But I don't see it. And I would hate to see it.